All right, let's talk about tools. I do like to use a harness on my dogs. I like to have something that I can grab them with a handle if I absolutely need to. I like to be able to put patches to warn people to not pet them, no eye contact, they're in training, all of that kind of stuff. Plus, I think a dog looks pretty snazzy with a harness, but I don't use the harness to control them unless I want them to pull. So by having my dog trained on a collar, which, let's be honest, if I want my dog to be in a heel, it's a lot easier to communicate with them while I have control at their neck, because I can line their collar up with my leg and I can still easily communicate with them if I need off. Whereas if it's in the center of their back, it's going to be a lot harder to communicate with them properly, because I'm going to have to be doing communication stuff back here instead of just right here. It's a lot more natural. Okay. But also, even though my dog is trained, I still need to take the appropriate cautions to keep everybody else's dog safe in a worst case scenario. So actually, perfect example, we got a beautiful healer here, and I don't think my dog will leap at that dog and want to engage with that dog in a improper way. But if they do, I need to have the proper tools in order to make sure that the situation is safe. If he has his harness off, good job, baby boy. If he is on a harness and he starts jumping and going over threshold, and I'm trying to manage him with improper communication and something that could possibly slip off, because I've seen the most nicely fitted harnesses with a freaking out dog slip off before, I'm doing a disservice to my dog, to the other person that is around, because I am not taking all of the safety precautions necessary to keep everybody involved safe. I would rather have my dog have proper communication, have multiple ways to communicate if I need to change it, like I want my dog to pull for whatever reason. And I would like to have all of the proper tools necessary to handle the worst case scenario in a responsible way that's going to keep my dog safe and another person's dog or another person potentially safe off. So if you can't say that the tools that you're using can do that, then you are doing a disservice to your dog and the community around you when you put your dog into those scenarios. Because do I think my dog is going to react in a crazy way? No, I don't. But maybe that dog or person has a specific smell that triggers something in my dog's brain, and I chose to not use the proper tools necessary to handle that situation. That's on me. I need to take responsibility for that action. And that is something that could potentially have my dog euthanized or have a lawsuit, have another dog killed, whatever the case may be. If I use the proper tools, then that situation will not happen. And that is what we need to think about when we are choosing the tools necessary for our dog. Does this dog feel like this collar is a punishment tool? No, he doesn't. If he feels the collar, he knows I'm asking for his attention, and he's got a very positive association with engaging with me because I'm always looking out for him. He feels the collar sometimes for split seconds when I am trying to communicate with him, because I understand that my dog can only pay attention to one thing at a time. That's how their brains work. If he's really interested in that tree, it's awesome. I want him to be comfortable and confident enough to engage with his environment in that way, but he's not paying attention to me when he's engaged with that tree. Dogs are incapable of multitasking like that. So I need to tell him, hey, it's enough. You can't pay attention to the tree anymore. And he goes, okay, awesome. I'm super comfortable with engaging with you. And that's why this isn't a punishment tool. It's a attention-seeking tool. And that's why it can be used with my dog safely, so that I can be in a situation that could be an emergency situation and still properly communicate with my dog, because it's a powerful enough tool that will keep him in line in those worst case scenarios. Whereas if I attached it to his harness right here, it just wouldn't be enough. He doesn't mind. This is a fun feeling. Instinctually, he wants to pull against that. But this collar tells him, hey, I should stop what I'm doing. Dad wants me to pay attention to him. Why do you want me to pay attention to you, Dad? That's why. Okay, awesome. He can only pay attention to one thing at a time. So if he's paying attention to me, he's not going to be over threshold paying attention to other things. Really consider, even if your dog doesn't necessarily need to use proper tools, to use those proper tools, because if you have a above 50-pound dog in a emergency situation, oh my God, my dog has never acted like that before. That's not an excuse for your dog to potentially be in a dangerous situation. Use the tools for the worst case scenario and use them in a way that is not abuse, but proper communication. Good boy. Very good boy.